background before I hand over to Yash. Yash and I are colleagues and friends from our alum in India, Bits Pilani. And of course, we are generationally removed from each other, but here we are in AI world that brings us completely together under one umbrella. And that's the interesting part of AI. It's not age biased, it's more about technology and what it can do for everyone. So with that, no further ado, I would like to welcome Yash, and please take it from here, Yash. I know your team is also here, so I'll let you take it from here, and I'll listen and enjoy the rest of the show.
Hello, thank you, Prem sir. Thank you so much for the introduction. Uh, as you mentioned, we are a couple of generations apart, but but actually the problems that we've been solving and the the kind of challenges that we have been addressing are still the same. Uh, as long as the computers have existed, the data has existed, and as long as data has existed, analytics has existed as a bottleneck or a problem. And we are here to solve the analytics bottleneck. Uh, I have my team with me. I have my co-founders, Navdeep and Mayur. The three of us, we've been in the trenches of data for far too long. And we've sort of understood that the analytics bottleneck exists and something has to be done to solve it. Uh, the current tools don't scale, and there has to be something which is much better, which is where we started building Orcasheets. We reached out to Prem sir a few months back and told him about what we are building. And the generous person that he is, he basically allowed us to be a partner in this venture of his and allowed us to showcase what we are building. Uh, what we also love about Prem sir is that there are these nuggets of wisdom that he brings when we are in conversation with him, and sort of we try to talk with him as often as possible just to have those nuggets. Uh, uh, you know, and this takes me to the next part of the presentation, where we had a very fairly technical sort of a title for this presentation, but what essentially we are solving is your and it's not just your accountant, your team is suffering from this analytics bottleneck, this decision making conundrum, and they all need therapy uh, just for the team sanity, and which is what inspired us to build this product, Orca Sheets. Uh, Orca Sheets is uh, let me actually, before we actually move to Orca Sheets, let me talk about the modern challenges that e-commerce, this industry uh, of, uh, of digital commerce faces. Uh, the data is data itself, and let me actually walk you through a story. Let's just take this accountant that we talked about. It might be a Friday evening or a Monday morning. Let's go with Monday morning. He's had his coffee prepared. He opens up his laptop, uh, immediately gets into the, the bushes of the data, the fragmented data that he has to deal with across sales channels. It's Amazon and the UPS and all the delivery partners, all the payment gateways like Stripe and everything, and they are sort of drenched. They are not sort of they're not they're not they're not just having to deal with these vast amounts of data. They also have to deal with the different language that all these data providers speak. I mean, the same value, the same number would mean something different. The fees might be calculated in a different manner. The time zones might be addressed in a different manner. And I mean, it also happens with us in India, where there are at least 7 to 8 different platforms in which someone will sell their goods. There are at least 3 to 4 different platforms that someone will use as their logistic partners, and another 2 or 3 partners for payments. So it's a mess. and your all your laptop is doing is switching between Google Chrome and Excel, because it cannot do both at the same time. Excel is going to either crash it, or Google Chrome is either going to crash it. So you can just do one at a time. The other part is the historic limitations. You found an analytics partner, you found someone who allow you to go deeper into your data, allow you to find insights in your data. However, there is a caveat. The caveat being, you can only look at maybe a couple of quarters of data, not more than that. uh, Imagine this. You've I mean, it's Christmas season, you've done a very good business for yourself. uh, a lot of goods have gone out, and suddenly on the 2nd of January, you've got a couple of returns. Most of these systems do not understand where these returns are coming from, because the visibility is just one quarter or a couple of quarters, and you're back to square one, trying to figure out why you have new items coming out of nowhere in your inventory. And it's not just that, as I mentioned, the insights are scattered. There are at least 25 tabs open on your Chrome, at least five spreadsheets open, and each spreadsheet won't talk to each other. They're just like I guess just 2 or 3 days ago, we were talking to a very senior marketing professional. Prem sir had introduced us. Uh, this person told us that, uh, and not a marketing professional, I'm sorry, he was a product manager at a cloud services company, and he said that, in order to uh, analyze his logs, and in order to run a pivot table, what he does, he shuts down everything on his machine, runs a pivot table, goes out for a lunch, and comes back without having a surety that the laptop might actually have crashed or not. And this is a challenge. This is sort of a place where, things go to a mess, where your entire the entire manner in which you're going to draw insights of your data becomes so delayed that you might as well have, ordered this particular insight 3 weeks ago, and you would have got it at the same time. That's where we built Orca Sheets. Orca Sheets is a very straightforward spreadsheet like solution. It looks like a spreadsheet, it feels like a spreadsheet, it has all the functionality of a spreadsheet, but it can analyze orders of magnitude more data than a spreadsheet can even think about handling. Uh, we load a billion rows of data. When I say billion, it's billion with a B, in 10 seconds. And when I say in 10 seconds, it is available for you to analyze in 10 seconds. When I say analyze, you can write queries as you would write in Excel. You can write SQL queries. And not just that, you can ask questions in plain, simple English. You do not require any kind of additional vocabulary to learn Orca Sheets. You can go from data to analytics in 30 seconds. And that's something that we take pride in. Uh, and, and for this specific use case, for a very specific use case for e-commerce, there are three sort of uh, pillars, I would call, that we have built our entire offerings on. The first is making you operationally efficient. We allow you to do all kinds of integrations, all kinds of uh, joins, the all kinds of analysis on the data from different sources, different platforms. We allow you to do analytics on your ads, let it be Google ads, Meta ads, whatever. We allow you to do analysis. We allow you to store your data for as long as you want. Um, and we allow you to ask questions. We allow you to even, the biggest challenge that most of the companies face is that the dashboard that a particular their analytics vendor is providing may not really be something that they had ordered. They need something more customized, something which is more personal. And Orca Sheets really understands your data, really understands the kind of problems that you're facing, and allows you to personalize your dashboard. We allow you to have those infinite possibilities with your own data and with your own analytics. Uh, and why would you really choose Orca Sheets? I mean, there are tons of reasons, and just five that I've already talked about. We connect with your data wherever it resides. We are not restricted to just the XLS format or the CSV format or the TSV format. We can connect with your databases. We can connect with your APIs. We can stream the data directly to your machine, which basically brings us to real-time dashboards that keep on updating. You don't have to wait for a week. You don't have to wait for a day. You don't have to wait for a month. You can get real-time updates on how your business is performing, how your business is doing, custom reports, seamless integration, and just ask questions as you would ask your data analyst. So before I move on, I mean, I would like to take a pause and maybe check if someone has any questions or any kind of things that I may be able to answer.
Thanks, Yash. I think that was a good introduction you've given, and what you're also saying is this is not only related to e-commerce, but all the kind of data like the one you described about Wayne in the data center use case. So yeah, it's where there's data, there's need for Orca sheets. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. And just to tell everyone about the customers that we're serving, we are working with e-commerce, we are working with government agencies, we are working with utility companies, we are working with market research companies. We've built something which is extremely horizontal, which is extremely configurable, and it is not uh, something that you would have to be very which is going to restrict the possibilities of analysis. It allows you to customize everything tailored to your own needs.
Right. And also to say that this is the work effort of a couple of years or years worth, well, past years of experience, but now this product will evolve as it learns more and more from the users, right? There are many more features that you don't have to go over that now, but I think we know that the product will evolve with more and more capabilities over time. That doesn't mean wait till you use it, but it means uh, get on board and take benefit of what we have built. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. As you very well put, I mean, the product is available for free. Anyone can download and start using it. And Prem sir will share a link with everyone for to do so. Uh, I can see a few questions in the chat, and maybe we can take them later on.
Please.
But
Yeah, please do so.
should I take them now?
Well, I would rather wait because I think
Yeah.
the curiosity is
Yeah.
bubbling up, and we want to
Right.
get to the meat of the stuff.
Right. Right. Let's move on. I think I'll talk about real band that we are sort of working with. I've put a X right now, but just a couple of hours back we got a permission to use their name. Uh, this is a umbrella company known as the Guardian Group, which is one of the largest D2C companies in India. They own about 8 brands, and each brand is a multi-million dollar sort of a revenue brand, which is which is extremely huge in India. Uh, this particular brand that we're talking about, it's called uh, Bakabuki, which is a footwear brand. Uh, we met the head of finance at one of the conferences, and I clearly remember we were sort of shutting down the business, and we were sort of heading out, and we thought that I think it's done. I don't. I mean, we had some really good conversations that day, but we were sort of thought that I think it's done, and all of us were tired, so we started to wind things up. Uh, so this person comes up and says that hey, I saw your poster. It looks like an Excel. And that's what sort of intrigues me. Are you something like Excel, or are you something, who connect with Excel and allow me to do analysis on my own data? And while discussing, we found out that this person, this particular head of finance, was was so stuck with analytics, was so stuck with the tools that he had on his hand, that he was willing to pay at least three times the subscription price that we had offered him, because it was almost impossible for him to consolidate data. His compliances had already gone for toss. His mental peace had already gone for toss. And he had already, hired a bunch of analysts, a team of analysts who are just looking into accessing data from different sources and making sure that it is available for for reconciliation. The reconciliation was the biggest challenge, and it is the biggest challenge with a lot of uh, e-commerce companies right now and a lot of businesses right now, where there are so many channels which you are dealing with, and there is no single place where you can really come back and say that, hey, I'm able to track every single penny where my where my every single penny in my money trail. uh,
Yash, I
and
just want to give you a time check. We are a third
Mhm.
into the webinar. Not rushing you,
Yes,
but
yes.
letting you know in case you overlook
Yeah, yeah.
that.
No, I think we're good. We are on the seventh slide already, and I
Yeah,
think
right.
now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass on the baton to my co-founder Mayur, who's going to walk us through a demo. Because I mean, uh, sorry, yeah, let Mayur take over.
Yeah, let me share my
Hey, Mayur, how are
screen.
you?
Hey, hello everyone. I'm good. Let me know if you see my screen.
Yep, we
Oh,
can.
cool. So like yeah, as Yash was mentioning, the problem with D2C brands, you're looking at like data disaster, where data is coming from multiple platforms, no connection, and teams are drowning into manual processes. Let me show you how we turn this into something which actually helps accountants to sleep peacefully at night instead of having nightmares about Excel. So let's jump into a real example. Let me hide this. Yeah. So this is a Bella Vita premium perfume brand. And they, like any D2C, used to hit a wall with Excel or Google Sheets, especially once the data crossed like few months of order history. But with Orca Sheets, they are able to look at multiple years of order history. And as you can see, the data is loaded within seconds. Uh, Let me quickly give you an overview of the nature of this data. The data is coming from the Shopify, and the order management is happening under Uniware platform. Then there is logistics management happening under ClickPost platform. And then you have all these logistics and delivery partners like Shadowfax, Delivery, or Blue Dart. Okay? And you must have noticed that the interface is very familiar, like Excel. You can do filtering, you can see column stats or the macros. Let me quickly show you the power of filtering. Let's try to filter based on order date, June 25 I'm interested in, and I'll say only canceled orders. Done. Like within a half a second, I got all the data which was cancel status for the month of June 2025.
So it went down to 2,000 rows. Yeah.
Yeah, there were like around more than 300K rows
Yeah.
in the orders data, right?
Mm.
So, like with this kind of speed and agility, that allows these D2C teams to actually explore their data rather than just looking at the dumb dashboard, right? But let's make this even more powerful with a mix of AI. So, if you look at this smart chat AI interface here, now you can just start asking questions in plain English language and to get more insights about your data. So let's start with some simpler ones like get distribution of orders by, let's say, final status. And this will give you like number of orders across different statuses. And there you go. It has created this new sheet here. You can see that these are the statuses and these are the order count and also the percentage. I can quickly create like a pie chart on top of this, and everything is happening in real time on this 300K rows of data and done, right? And you can go as complex as you want. For example, like I want to get like cells or the weekly cells, I would say, for uh, Christmas 2024. As you can see, like I'm not worried about the minute details about my data. I can rely on AI to get all this external information about when was the Christmas. And as you can see, we have got this data, weekly sales data. I can also try to get top 10 delivery pin codes, which are generating revenue, more sales for us. So let's say with highest sales in last quarter, for example, and done. So it should give me like that top 10 delivery pin codes where we are getting more sales. And there you go. Like within seconds, we are getting insights. I'll also quickly plot a chart because obviously looking at numbers won't give you the exact answers that you want to look at. But yeah, with the visualizations, it's better insights, right? So whatever I was doing is mainly like doing some ad hoc analysis and asking questions right to my data. But let me walk you through a recipe, which is like one of the most powerful feature of Orcasheets. Uh, a recipe is like a template. It's like a repeatable workflow where you have a one logic to, for example, generate a weekly or monthly reports about your top SKUs or the orders coming from different cities and all. That can happen within like single click. For example, let me show you a recipe which is created just for Shopify analysis. I'll quickly select my Shopify data source and apply. And with the single click, I'll be able to see different types of analysis right here. Let me quickly bring this up. Sorry for this. So I can see the sales report has been generated. This is like a monthly sales report where you can see different type of metrics, how many like sales happening through different order statuses like cancelled, loss, in
All of
transit,
these
and
tabs were automatically generated by the recipe without you having to do
exactly.
it. Yeah. Okay. Got it. And oh,
Yeah, and not just that, like it has also created a whole dashboard for you.
yep. Ah, okay.
Yeah. So this is like a like monthly sales report based on different payment modes. You can also look at the daily order sales. You can look at this, like how your delivery partners are doing, how they are managing to deliver within these buckets of days, and what are their contribution in terms of charges, like how many orders they're doing and with what charges, with their percentage of contributions, right? So, and again, like you can quickly publish this dashboard so that you can share that with your stakeholders and without using any BI tools, and done. This creates a link which I can also share in the chat. Let me see where it is. Here. Put this here so that you all can take a look, right?
Hmm.
And beyond sales, we are also able to connect to different ad platforms like Google Ads, Meta, Google Analytics, so that you can correlate your ad spend with your like sales, right? So let me also quickly show you a dashboard for that. Okay, and as you can see, we are showing like yesterday, last 7 days, and month till today data, but somehow I'm missing some data. I must have not synced the data. So let's quickly show you how you can sync this data in real time. So right now it's going to fetch all this data from different platforms like Google Ads and Meta Insights. And within like seconds, it will repopulate, regenerate this whole dashboard. Right? So let's give it a time, and you can also see all these reports. I can actually show you. Yeah, done. So let me switch back to the dashboard now. And as you can see, now we can see the data for yesterday, last 7 days. I can also see the tabular data so that you see the different type of metrics that you want to see in the ad campaigns domain, where you want to see like how much you're spending in the ad campaigns and what is the revenue it's generating, and different types of metrics, which is very specific to the campaigns, the ad campaigns, right? So yeah, in the end, I would want to show you the different type of connectors from where you can fetch your data. For example, API, like any cloud storage or any databases in the world, and you can easily start getting into insights without doing any kind of a configuration or any setups. So the goal with Orcasheet is to adapt to your use case, whether you are a founder or marketer or analyst. Uh, we give you the power to build the analytics what you need with unlimited scale and no dependency on the engineers, all right from your laptops. Like in last 8 to 10 minutes, I've shown you the insights which was used to take Belavita's team to weeks to compile, and
Mayur,
everything in yeah.
you did say on your laptop. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. So everything, the insights, the generation of all the aggregations was happening on my laptop. If the processing was happening on my laptop, there is no cloud involved. There is no boundary between your data and your machine. It's only you and the insights that you need.
Got it. Okay. So that's in another language we call it uh, analysis at the edge. You know,
Yep,
the edge could be
exactly.
you're sitting at Starbucks before going into a meeting, or it could be at your remote home office, but you don't have to be connected to the back office other than pulling the data. But if the data is there already as of this morning, then I'm good to go.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah. So I was just saying that like Belavata team used to take like weeks to compile all this, and we were able to do this like within few minutes. I was able to show all these insights, and everything was happening real time. I was able to update the data in real time.
Gotcha.
So I think, yeah, that's about the demo.
Yeah.
Uh,
And all right, Yash or Mayur, either of you can look at if there's any questions coming in or any hands have been raised. But let's address those, and then if you need to add anything else, please feel free. Thanks, Mayur.
Yeah, I think I'll just share the screen for the last information so that
Mm.
uh, people can note down how to reach us.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, go
here's
back to that
here.
previous screen you just did about 10x. Something was saying 10x. I
Okay,
didn't see that. Yeah.
sorry. Right. So what Mayur talked about was we solved a very important problem where someone who never had visibility beyond a quarter were able to have a visibility of about 3.5 years, which was their entirety of existence. And this is something which happened because of the capability of the platform. People were able to sort of do analysis at their own comfort of their own machine, their own sort of environment, without having to bother any data engineers, any data analysts. They became analysts themselves. All the analytics was real time without waiting, and you could see everything was without waiting. I mean, even when was the last time when someone was able to share about 300,000 rows of data while having a Zoom meeting on? I just and I don't rem- and if someone can say that it could be done on Excel, we are very happy to be proven wrong. This is what we are bringing to the table, allowing you to analyze millions of rows of data without having to shut down your life. And everything with AI at the center. AI is uh, the centerpiece around which we built Orcasheets. Big data, data analysis is what we are enabling. We are democratizing data analysis for everyone.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
And
Yeah.
yeah, the last bit, if you want to reach us, you can hear the contact details. Thank you so much, Lunagen, for giving us this opportunity to present our product and having this amazing collaboration going on between us.
Absolutely, guys. And so let's look at any questions that are coming in. Uh, Jonathan, I think, has a question. Has raised his hand, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so the question I have is, so I've downloaded the free trial and I've been experimenting with different data sets. So if you could you explain the limitations of the trial version when compared to the full version? And if I do plan to upgrade to the full version, how would I obtain it for a trial?
Yeah, I'll let Mayur answer that question.
Yeah. So with like a free version, you can load unlimited data set from your local machine. It can be a CSV, it can be TSV or Excel files. And if you're trying to like connect to your data from any cloud or any databases, then it depends on how much data is getting converted or getting transferred to Orcasheets. So it's mostly about the amount of data that is getting transferred, and the subscription is based on that.
But that's the free model, right? Free version for trial. And then what happens when somebody wants is there, it's whet their appetite and they say, I want to give the full version a spin before I buy it.
Right.
What do you suggest?
I mean, whenever they're at a point where they believe that, full version is something that can help us, they should reach out to Lunagen or Orcasheets. We'll be helping you with getting onboarded on the platform, allowing you to, we would like to understand your requirements, the kind of data that you will be having, the kind of places where your data resides. And based on that, we can help you get onboarded very quickly. uh, I mean, and if someone is adventurous enough, you can, give it a try yourself, because as Mayur showed, it's not a complex product that we built. It's something which is quite straightforward. And there is individual user pricing as well, which we are sort of working with Lunagen on getting it to our users at this point of time. Uh, Based on the size of data, you can expect it to be somewhere around $50 a month. If the data size is pretty big, we might have a different plan. If you require some sort of security at your organization, there will be a different plan. But for an individual plan where someone wants to explore Orcasheets, it's going to be somewhere around $50 a month. And you can basically use it for your small team as well.
And one more question that somebody might be wondering about is you mentioned the word recipe. I like that term, which is a workflow that gets automated, right?
Yeah.
So it runs automatically behind the scene at a cadence and frequency that the user, can decide. Now, who makes the recipe? How is recipe
So,
made?
right. So to answer that question, let me actually point to the person who created the concept of recipe. Navdeep, he'll be basically letting us know how recipe can be created.
All right, welcome,
Yeah,
Navdeep.
yeah. Hey, thank you, everyone. So recipe part is currently it's in a beta phase, and we are the one who are creating for you. So bring us your use case, bring us your best use cases. We'll be helping out in building the recipe for you. And soon we will be open sourcing the part where everyone can actually create a recipe. So to answer short, sir, currently we are creating it for you.
And there's a fee for that, but can you give us an idea of what that might cost if I want a recipe after having played around for a while?
Absolutely. So this is our experience that a normally recipe takes from say 5 hours to 30 hours. It's as simple as like 2 or 3 days, and it can cost something around $500 to $1,000. That's it.
Got it. It's a one-time fee, and then your recipe is done for you. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, and does the product learn from the user's experience and say, aha, this is the recipe you need, or you need to have an interaction with the client, most likely, that what do you need as a recipe?
So no, recipe in itself can becoming a self-learning algorithm in itself. So like that will be a separate recipe, but internally there is no one who is actually learning from a recipe itself. We have a similar plan for a bigger organization where if multiple users are asking same kind of questions, then it's actually coming from uh, the cache or the learned behavior from the question being asked. But for individual, there is no learning behind the scene for the recipe.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's 10:41. Are there any questions from anybody else?
There was one question which was about, how is Orcasheets processing billions of rows of records?
Okay.
And and the simple answer is that, the machine that, you're using, the one that we are sort of having this conversation on, is much more powerful than a data center 10 years ago. And we are not utilizing its complete capabilities. We built Orca Sheets using the hardware we built very close to the metal, and we basically used, the inherent capabilities of your machine to allow parallel processing, allow the utility of all its cores, and make sure that your data does not leave your the ecosystem of your machine. So it's built with some very efficient technology, which is very close to the hardware, which allows us to do all these kinds of very complex operations on billions of rows.
Right. And I think to add to that question would be that if you're fortunate to have you download the DMG file on your computer, you will notice that it will say not what computer model you have, but it'll even ask you at least a minimum saying, are you a Linux machine, or are you a Windows machine, or a Mac machine? Okay. Then it will point you to the right DMG file, which is very common in applications. Short, small file, and then you run it, and it gets installed on your computer, and the Orcasheet logo shows up on your desktop. But that's really how it is happening. And the technology, I think what you were referring to or was being asked is that, yes, they have built the efficiency of that fast import of a CSV file or a Excel file or TSV, I think is the other word you use. But that import is done in a very encrypted, efficient way that when it is in flight, it is not being seen by anybody. And it is encrypted with military grade encryption, and then it lands up on your computer where it gets decrypted.
Yes.
Correct, Riya?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. This is exactly how we would call it. It's just a 60 MB installer. It's just a 60 MB. It's smaller than a lot of games that you would install on your mobile phones. And we are able to basically work very close to your machine with that kind of a footprint.
Yeah. And whilst there are no audience in the crowd around that subject, but I would say that you should all be aware that the technology, because it has been taken to the edge of the bare metal, as Yash calls it, of your computer, then it can go further down into the bare metal of a Internet of Things devices on the network, IoT devices. And when that happens, it's magic, because now at the very edge of a mining company or an oil discovery company or an oil exploration company, or this itself is an edge when it comes to e-commerce on the edge, then you've got data coming from multiple sources of data generators in an IoT world. I think you mentioned about the energy example, which is it's collecting data from buildings and many energy management systems residing inside the building, the HVAC system, the
Yes.
the electrical generators. That's data
Yeah.
on the edge.
Yeah, millions of data points getting
Yeah.
collected, and
Yeah.
the ability to analyze them. We can also work on Raspberry Pi. We are
Wow.
compatible with Raspberry Pi. Uh, there is a question about how much storage did your demonstrated recipe use. So the recipe in itself is is a script. So that recipe in itself is just about 70 to 80 kbs, not more than that. However, we are also able to achieve 70 to 80x compressions on your own data. So even if your data is about 60 GB, 70 GB, it gets reduced down to just about a GB or even less because of the compressions that we're doing. And because of that, we're not going to use uh, a lot of storage on your machine. Everything will be in a very compressed and in a nearly lossless sort of compression that we are able to achieve with your data. So you can be sure that we're not going to eat into the storage of your systems.
Yes, I'll also ask this question that you
Mhm.
mentioned that it is secure because it's on your computer in
Yeah.
your briefcase. But what if you're an employee and you walk away from that company for some reason? Then what happens to that data that you took away with you?
Right. So that's a great question. In order to actually access that data, you will require Orcasheets and the key that the company has. And even the administrator of that company won't know about the key because it's again stored in Orcasheets database. It is encrypted by that key and Orcasheets. So without either of them, even if you have Orcasheets and you don't have access to your organization's key, you won't be able to basically do anything with that file. On the other hand, even if you have the key, you won't be able to open that file because you require Orcasheets to actually access it. So you cannot take the data out of your system. You cannot. We can also disable right clicks on your system because we have sort of we are not having dependency on a web browser. You see, we built this entire desktop application from ground up to bring in that kind of security and bring in that kind of uh, you know the kind of ability to analyze that huge amounts of data. The I mean, it would have been very simple, fairly straightforward for us to build a web application because it's easy, it's the norm. We went ahead, we took 3 steps ahead, and we decided to build a web application or a desktop application specifically for the purpose of security and the ability to be able to use the hardware that is on your machine.
Gotcha. Okay, so if you leave, then the key doesn't function anymore.
Yeah. No way you can actually take that data out of the machine.
Okay, got it. Very well. Well, if there are no other questions, Yash, if you can see any, I think I would say, well, there you have it. You see the power of Orcasheets and AI technology, and we are very delighted to have this technology under our umbrella. Plus, we would be happy to work with you in other areas. But we want to give back 10 minutes to you of today's busy day. So thank you, Yash, Navdeep, and Mayur, and to my all the attendees who made the time. And feel free to write to info@Lunagen. Give us feedback, and if you're interested, let us know, please. Thank you.
Thanks, Yash, and
Thank
thanks,
you.
Ben. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.